Hi there, Brad Camp here. Um, I'm going to do a little blog this morning, morning for me, on dominating your market, whatever market you happen to be in. Um, my focus is sort of real estate and helping for sale by owner to get going. That's not to eliminate other people. It's not to go against realtors or anything like that. Um, but it's basically helping people with marketing. My focus is marketing, and it's marketing in today's world, which can be very, very expensive if you don't know what you're doing, and it can be very cost effective if you do know what you're doing. Um, so, with the focus of real estate, selling real estate, I sort of look at it and go, you get a listing, and what do you do with it? Or what is the listing? What's the point of it? You sell a place, you get your commission. You're probably dividing your commission. Um, but what else is it? An open house, from my understanding, it's a good way to promote yourself as a person listing or listing agent. Um, but a lot of houses, if you're selling them, they need to be found online. So there's one way to do it is you can try and list all sorts of different places, and hopefully your listing comes up because you've listed in multiple places on multiple websites. Could be hundreds of websites or thousands of websites, but there are millions of websites out there. So for you to have your listing come up, um, there really is only one or two places that you want to come up. That's Google is basically number one, because people are going to go to Google and they start their search in a search engine. So it may not be Google, but where I am, Google is number one. So when they type something in, a buyer goes to that bar and they type in something. Now, can you come up in the number one spot? Well, I'm sure you've been told you can, and with a bit of help, you can be in that number one spot. It's not necessarily true. So I sort of look at it from, if I were doing real estate, I would look at the listings I get as a great way to promote who I am and get more listings. And so what I would do is focus my attention on getting that listing up as quickly as I could. And putting it on 100 different sites doesn't get it to the number one spot. It just gives you 100 spots that are way down the middle of nowhere and no one's going to find. So I'm working on iStock Homes, which is 2 market houses, and you can list for free. And then with it, if your listing is filled out correctly and you've taken the time to go through and title the images, label the images correctly, do the alt tags, do up a really nice description, label the place properly, the title, all of that on iStock Homes, that works into the meta tags, which is programming language that gets you found on Google, simply, for those of you that are not technical at all. And then with those listings, right now, I'm personally looking through them to make sure they're done properly. And if they're not, I'll alter them a bit to make sure they are found. My focus is to get the listing up as high as I can in your location, with what you're selling. And then with that, once your listing gets found, your listing can have links back to your website, back to your wherever it is you want it to go. That will help build your reputation, so you're using your listing to promote you. But I don't recommend having your listings all over the place if they're not linking back to you. It just sort of clutters up the internet. Yeah, so think about it. It's free to list on iStock Homes, and I'm helping people get going so that you can climb up quickly in your market area, in your market niche, and dominate. And it's not going to be done through spending thousands and thousands of dollars on stuff that doesn't last. Stuff like online advertising, it comes and it goes, and you can spend a huge amount of money. Newspaper ads, they can be a waste too, right? Because they're not going to last long, and they're not going to help build your reputation. With your website, you want your website to be something that people want to come back to for some reason. And a lot of people that are into real estate, what they want is, as a realtor even, is a little bit about themselves and then their listings. Well, that doesn't really give someone who's looking into you a real feel of who you are. So on iStock Homes, we have professional advice blogs, and you should have these on your website too, where you're in a specific location and you could give all sorts of advice which just build your credibility. And the higher your credibility is, the more people are going to look into you, figure out who you are, build trust even before they ever talk to you. And the more information you give them, the more trust they will have. And when they phone you up, you won't have to be selling to them. You'll just have to answer the questions and let them lead the conversation. And if they're going to list with you, more than likely nowadays it's because they want to, because they feel they know who you are. Anyways, just writing a blog today. I'm Brad Camp with iStock Homes, so iStockHomes.com. You can list your business. You can list your listings, houses, boats, cars, classic cars, and professional advice. And all of your listings on iStock Homes can be categorized under yourself. There's some samples there. And all of it can link back to your website, wherever your website happens to be, so that over the next couple of months, year, 2 years, 5 years, you can build yourself a really good reputation and have all sorts of ranking just because you've been working on your online presence. It's also good to use Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook and join a bunch of groups. I'm on all of them. And what I find in a lot of these social groups is we do a lot of reading and very few people do any writing, especially writing of their own, and they do very little video. So if you're doing writing and you're doing video and you're linking that stuff back, once you've written a piece of content, you can share it in a lot of places and link all of that back to your website and or to your business website, and build yourself up that way. So I really do encourage you to get yourself out there. It may not be comfy sitting in front of a camera and rambling on about something that everyone already knows about, but they don't. There's a lot of stuff they don't know. So, yeah. Once again, I'm Brad Camp. Come check out iStockHomes.com. Sign up. Once you've done that, I'll check out who you are and bump you up a bit in permissions so that you can publish stuff right away. And and help you build up your reputation online. And that way you'll find yourself saving a lot of money and you'll get a better return on investment. Thanks again. I'm Brad Camp. Come say hi. Take care.